Dear kids, today we will learn about reptiles and crawling animals. Can you guess the animal? Yes, it's snake. Snakes are amazing reptiles that don't have arms or legs, but they're super speedy and clever. They come in all sorts of colors and sizes, from tiny ones that can fit in your hand to giant ones longer than a school bus. Some snakes are harmless and just munch on mice, while others have special venom to help them catch their dinner. But don't worry, most snakes want to stay away from people. Can you guess the animal? Yes, it's lizard. This means they have scales, like tiny armor, instead of fur or feathers. They are cold-blooded, so they need the sun's warmth to get their energy, just like you might warm up in the sun after playing. Most lizards have 4 legs, but some amazing kinds don't have any legs at all, looking a bit like snakes. You can find them all over the world, from deserts to forests, munching on insects and other small critters. They are super cool and an important part of nature. Can you guess the animal? Yes, it's crocodile. A crocodile is like a super tough, ancient reptile that looks a bit like a giant lizard with a really long, powerful tail. Imagine a creature that's been around since the time of the dinosaurs. Can you guess the animal? Yes, it's turtle. A turtle is a cold-blooded reptile, which means their body temperature changes with the outside temperature. That is most famous for its hard, bony shell. This shell is like a built-in house and shield, protecting them from danger. Turtles can live in many different places, on land, like tortoises, in freshwater like rivers and lakes, or even in the ocean. These are sea turtles. They eat different things depending on their type, using their sharp, beak-like mouth instead of teeth. Turtles are also known for living for a very, very long time. Can you guess the animal? Yes, it's chameleon. A chameleon is a special kind of lizard that is famous for its amazing ability to change the color of its skin. They do this not just to hide, but also to show how they're feeling, like if they're happy, scared, or even trying to find a friend. Can you guess the animal? Yes, it's king cobra. Cobra is a very long and venomous snake, which means it has a powerful, dangerous bite that lives in the warm forests of Asia. It's called king because it's the longest venomous snake in the whole world, and its favorite food is actually other snakes. These amazing snakes are also special because the mother king cobra is the only snake that builds a nest for her eggs and guards them until they hatch. Can you guess the animal? Yes, it's sea turtle. A sea turtle is a special kind of turtle that lives mostly in the ocean. They are reptiles, just like snakes and lizards, and they breathe air, so they have to pop their heads out of the water to take a breath. Unlike other turtles that might live in ponds or on land, sea turtles spend almost their whole lives in the vast ocean. Can you guess the animal? Yes, it's frog. A frog is a small, tailless animal that belongs to a group of creatures called amphibians. Think of them as nature's amazing jumpers that can live in 2 different worlds, both in the water and on land. Here's what makes a frog a frog. They have a long, super fast, sticky tongue that shoots out to grab bugs like flies and mosquitoes, which they then swallow whole. Can you guess the animal? Yes, it's snail. A snail is a small, soft-bodied animal that carries its house on its back. This house is a hard, spiral shell that helps keep it safe and stops it from getting too dry. Snails are famous for moving very slowly. Can you guess the animal? Yes, it's millipede. A millipede is a fascinating creature that looks a bit like a long, segmented worm, but with lots and lots of tiny legs. Even though their name means 1,000 feet, most millipedes don't actually have that many. They have many legs, but usually fewer than 100. Some special ones have over 1,000 legs, but that's very rare. Can you guess the animal? Yes, it's earthworm. An earthworm is a wiggly, slimy creature that lives in the soil. Even though they don't have eyes, ears, or legs, they are super important helpers for our planet. Earthworms spend almost all their lives tunneling through the dirt. Can you guess the animal? Yes, it's leech. A leech is a type of worm that's a bit like a squishy, segmented tube. They live in water, like ponds and lakes, or in very moist places on land. Leeches have a special sucker at both their front and back ends. They use these suckers to hold on to things and to move by inching along like a measuring worm. Can you guess the animal? Yes, it's slug. A slug is a fascinating creature that's very similar to a snail, but with one big difference. It doesn't have an external shell. Think of it like a snail without its house. Can you guess the animal? Yes, it's termite. A termite is a tiny, ant-like insect that lives in huge, super organized families called colonies. They're sometimes called white ants, but they're actually not ants at all. Can you guess the animal? Yes, it's crab. A crab is a fascinating creature that lives in the water or along the coast, and it's famous for its hard shell, 10 legs, and often 2 big claws. Can you guess the animal? Yes, it's grub. A grub is a type of baby insect that looks like a soft, squishy worm. It's actually the early stage of life for many different kinds of beetles, like June bugs or Japanese beetles, before they grow into their adult form. Can you guess the animal? Yes, it's Komodo dragon. A Komodo dragon is a real-life, giant lizard that's like something out of a fantasy story. They are the biggest lizards in the entire world and are super cool creatures found only on a few special islands in Indonesia. Can you guess the animal? Yes, it's skink. A skink is a type of lizard, and there are many different kinds of them all over the world. They often have smooth, shiny scales, and can look a bit like a snake because some have really short legs or even no legs at all. Can you guess the animal? Yes, it's python. A python is a type of really big snake that lives in warm places around the world, like Africa, Asia, and Australia. They're famous for being constrictors, which means they use their powerful muscles to squeeze their prey instead of using venom. Can you guess the animal? Yes, it's scorpion. A scorpion is a fascinating creature that looks a bit scary, with its pinches and a stinging tail, but they are also very interesting animals that have been around for millions of years. They are actually part of the arachnid family, which means they are related to spiders, ticks, and mites. Can you guess the animal? Yes, it's spider. A spider is an amazing creature that belongs to a group of animals called arachnids. They are often confused with insects, but spiders are different because they have 8 legs and no antennae, and most are famous for spinning silk. You can definitely guess the animal, it's alligator. An alligator is a large, powerful reptile that's a type of crocodilian, meaning it's related to crocodiles, caimans, and gharials. They are amazing prehistoric-looking animals that are perfectly built for life in and around water. There are only 2 kinds of alligators in the world: the American alligator, found in the southeastern United States, and the much smaller Chinese alligator, found in a small area of China. Hopefully you have enjoyed the information, so stay tuned for more videos.